Hi, everybody. This is Ben Webster, and welcome once again to another episode of the Scaling Alpha podcast. Today, I'm joined by Paul Karger, co-founder and managing partner of Twin Focus Capital Partners. They're a Boston-based global multifamily office that he co-founded with his twin brother in 2006. They now manage $13 billion in assets for ultra-high net worth families around the world. Twin Focus advises families on investment allocation across public markets, private equity, real estate, alternatives, and private credit. Paul, thank you so much for joining today. We're really excited to have you.
Ben, great to be here. I really appreciate the time to share my thoughts and wisdom.
Appreciate it. We're looking forward to it. So why don't we start? Give us some of the background, like where did you grow up, go to school, and some of the early steps in your career?
Sure. Ben, thanks again for the opportunity.
You're welcome.
So I grew up in the Boston area. I grew up just outside of Boston in a little well-known historical town named Lexington. And I was raised by a single mom. I have a twin brother, Wes, who I founded Twin Focus with. I also have a little sister, Susie, who's a couple of years younger. And, really from a young age, my mom taught us the value of a dollar and the value of kind of hard work. All three of us were always up to, had some kind of work initiative going throughout our childhoods. We graduated from high school. Both my brother and I went on to study at college at BU. I studied engineering at BU. I was always interested in, I was a good math student, and I was always interested in kind of the mechanical side of the world, fixing cars at a young age and, interested in the way engines work and so on. And so I studied manufacturing and mechanical engineering at Boston University. I came out of BU. I made some interesting connections at school. I came out and immediately, I took a job in investment banking. Within a year, I realized that I really wanted to be, in front of people instead of in front of a computer.
Mm-hmm.
And with the help of some mentors where I was working at the time, they suggested I consider retail brokerage. At that time, I thought of retail brokerage as, analogous to a used car salesman, and I couldn't quite get my head or arms around it.
My first job was at Merrill Lynch retail brokerage, so I get it.
And this was in the go-go days of the 90s, the late 90s, when, everybody was making, 50% a year in tech and so on. And it's interesting when you look back and connect the dots and figure out how you got there, it seems like a pretty clear path. But when you're charting your course and looking forward, it doesn't necessarily seem so clear.